Hello, everyone. We are talking about Dillon Mitchell this time. Number 239th overall, drafted in the seventh round, 6'1", 197 pounds, and he's a receiver who runs a 4.46. Now he's from Oregon. I think his routes, like he can sell vertical routes well and can kind of set up the opportunities and possibilities for some underneath stuff. And he has some sudden route breaks and horizontal cuts that are pretty clean. I do think he struggles against physical corners a bit and will get rerouted pretty easily. He doesn't really put up much of a fight there, and average separation skills at best. So he does have inconsistent hands. Plenty of occasion where you kind of just see these double catches, or he'll just straight up drop the ball right through his hands, and it's a little disappointing to see stuff like that. He doesn't really catch cleanly outside his frame. You can kind of tell he wants to bring it into his body, just let it go there. And he's not really a natural hands catcher, which is concerning when you're talking about a receiver. His job is to, catch it. So when you're talking about catching could be an inconsistent problem, you might have an issue. So I do think he's able to find the ball well, but he doesn't adjust well. Like he kind of loses track of the ball as it arrives, kind of thing. And he kind of lacks the concentration, which could also be part of the issue with the overall catching, not just in traffic with his ball skills, but just in general. And he can get bullied at the point, like the high point for the ball. Not really one of those guys that'll jump up and go get it. He does have some yards after the catch ability, though, because he can work well to go up the field and does have enough quickness and speed to kind of break the pursuit angles, so to speak, and kind of break off some chunks of yardage that way. And he is slippery in space and able to make the first guy miss more often than not. So if he does catch it, you're probably looking at more of just this vertical deep speed guy or a guy you're throwing screens to. His release is kind of like he's smooth and explosive into his route and did play both the slot and on the outside. So he didn't really encounter much press coverage, but the fact that he gets rerouted down the field pretty easily, that doesn't really bode well for the projections of how he would do against press coverage. And he does have really good play speed though, and can challenge a defense vertically, which is really good. We kind of need that. And he does accelerate quickly and has some pretty good long speed on him. And he does well altering his speed to set up some of his breaks. So, which isn't bad. That's actually a pretty good skill to have. Not all receivers do that. And when it comes to his blocking, though, he's not a reliable blocker. He has average size and below average strength when it comes to that, and that leads to him just getting tossed pretty easily. And even then, he's very inconsistent when it actually comes to squaring up to his defender that he's supposed to be blocking, so it doesn't really go well. His actual play strength as a receiver, he doesn't have bulk on his frame, and functional strength definitely takes a pretty good hit because of that. Because he does struggle with the physical corners, as I have stated, can get knocked off his route, and he usually can't establish his frame against other more physical corners at the catch point. He can get bullied for the ball, and contact balance as both a blocker and a runner is rather underwhelming at times. So he's kind of just blown back by everything that touches him. But he does have experience working from the slot and the outside, so you have some slight versatility there. And he has a skill set that can attack all three levels, which is really nice. And has a little experience returning kick and punts, but he had very little success doing it. So to me, this is a very similar player that we had in Aldrick Robinson, but I think this one, because neither of them really caught the ball all that well all the time, but this one has an added thing where he is probably more slippery in space when he does catch the ball. So runs fast, questionable hands, more of just a deep threat kind of guy. Doesn't offer too many more things. He didn't really run the whole route tree at Oregon either, so there's that. And I don't know, you have some route running uh, promise here when it comes to that. There is improvement to be made. You can see that he would be pretty good at running routes. It's just, will you ever get his hands steady enough to where he can actually catch the ball at a consistent level? So that's why I give this a C minus, just because he's a receiver who we're not sure could even catch. And between him and Olabisi Johnson, the next guy I'm going to be making a video after this one for, I do think both of them will probably have a chance to make the roster just because of the depth that we have there. Like after Thielen and Diggs, it's Treadwell, Chad Beebe, Brandon Zylstra, Jordan Taylor now, and these two guys really. And it's not. We have some possible issues here at receiver depth, but yeah, C minus just because it's a receiver that I don't know can actually learn to catch, or he hasn't really proven he can catch on a consistent basis. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Till next time, I bid y'all adieu.